during the trial of a former Minneapolis officer charged with murder. The judge denied the request by the Associated Press and several other media outlets. Mohammed Noor is charged with the July 2017 murder of Justine Damon, who was shot after calling police to report a possible sexual assault behind her home. Noor is scheduled to appear in court Friday for a hearing on a range of issues in his case. Jury selection is set to begin April 1st. Jeff Petroulis for WCCO 4 News.
Sorry for the bad audio on that. Hopefully it shows up better than I can hear it. Well, this is, I remember when all this comes out, right? Right.
Thank you for that.
She's the 40-year-old yoga instructor who was shot by cops in her pajamas. It happened after Justine Damon called cops to report a fight in the alley near her home in Minneapolis.
The people outside on the phone. She's online with them, or with her now.
When the patrol car arrived, Justine started speaking to the police officer behind the wheel. Suddenly, the other cop, who was seated in the passenger seat, opened fire. The officer has been identified as Mohammed Noor, who became a police officer in 2014. 22-year-old Zach Damon posted this emotional video on Facebook.
My mom is dead because the police officer shot her for reasons I don't know, and I demand answers.
The cops were wearing body cams, but they were not turned on. Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges.
I have a lot of questions about why the body cameras weren't on.
Cops in Minneapolis were issued the body cams after the shooting of a black motorist, Philando Castile, in a suburb last year. Justine was planning to marry fiancé Don Damon next month. He choked with emotion as he spoke outside their home.
The death of Justine is a loss to everyone who knew her. She touched so many people with her loving and generous heart.
The moment you change your mind, you begin to change your brain.
She was a New Age healer who posted her lectures on meditation to YouTube. In this video, Justine, an Australian, talked about moving to the U.S. 3 years ago.
I also have just moved from Sydney to America and had only been in the States for a few weeks, had moved my whole life over.
Her neighbors held a moving vigil for Justine and left a memorial of hearts chalked on the sidewalk along with this placard. Why did you shoot and kill our neighbor and friend?
It is difficult to fathom how to go forward without her in my life.
Yeah, right. There it is.
Messages of love and remembrance fill the ground in the alleyway where Damond died.
Friends and family have remained at that site demanding answers. Our Reg Chapman had a chance to speak with some of them today. He continues our team coverage from the scene. Reg?
Well, Frank, Justine's family spent all afternoon trying to come to terms with their loss and searching for words to describe who Justine was and how much she'll be missed. Her fiancé, Don, found the courage to speak. And when he did speak, he spoke about how little he knows about what happened to the love of his life. Neighbors and friends of Justine Damond formed a human chain in support of her fiancé, Don, as he spoke about his loss for the first time.
Our hearts are broken, and we are utterly devastated by the loss of Justine.
Don Damond says he knows very little about the last moments of Justine's life.
It was Justine who called 911 on Saturday evening, reporting what she believed was an active sexual assault occurring nearby. Sadly, her family and I have been provided with almost no additional information from law enforcement regarding what happened after police arrived.
Damond says Justine was well loved by neighbors, friends, and colleagues here in Minnesota and across the globe.
The death of Justine is a loss to everyone who knew her. She touched so many people with her loving and generous heart. She was a teacher to so many in living a life of openness, love, and kindness.
For now, this devastated family says they need privacy as they try to move forward without their guiding light.
She was so kind and so darn funny. She made us all laugh with her great wit and her humor. It is difficult to fathom how to go forward without her in my life.
Now, Don Damon says he hopes to learn more about what happened to Justine in days to come. He says just knowing what happened to her in the last moments of her life will help him and his family with the grieving process. Frank and Amelia.
All right. Thank you, Red.
Yeah, right. Fucking bullshit. The 3 boyfriends walk off the scene. Unbelievable.